Hey, hello everybody. Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining me today on this live video. We are going to talk about a class, an access class that is very, very dear to us, that we both love. It's called the Energetic Synthesis of Being. And I just wanted to sit down with Jenny and have a conversation about what this class has been creating for her, for us, and let's see where this conversation leads us. This is a series of what we call symphony conversations, where we explore energy, the symphony, and molecules and play and everything. Hi, Jenny. So thank you so much. I'm just going to click on here. Being here, do you remember your first ESB class?
I do actually. Um, it was one of those classes that really pulled me, and I knew I had to have it as a prereq and a prerequisite for another class. And I can't even remember what that other class was, but it was something that was on my list, shall I say. And this specific one that I chose because I asked the question, like, which one would create the most? There's a few of them in the next couple of months, which one would create the most? And the one I chose was one that was in Noosa, Australia, which meant it's my sleep time when this comes on. And I thought, okay, so this is my body wants to stay awake and watch this. Okay, let's do it. So I signed up, and the first thing about that class was the way it began, like seeping into my world from the very moment I chose it, asking for me to be more vulnerable, to be more open, to receive more of everything. Um, and I say this, but energetically, it was like such, suddenly I went from like this size to like really vast, being able to hear layers of information, like the waves crashing on the shore, but like different layers of the information that was there, the sound of the froth on the top of the wave, the creatures in the water, like so much information, but not knowing what it is, but knowing there's a full energetic there, a bit like that. And what showed up in this class was something called the harmonious energies. Um, and those are obviously undefined, but more about the energetic of allowing in that which contributes to you, which to me was mind blowing because we ask normally to reach out and choose something and then make it happen in whatever way, shape, or form that is. This is the beginning before like really being in access. And then with the access tools, it's about asking questions. And here suddenly there was this like everything that you're not being present with, allow it to seep into your world and begin to contribute to you. And that opened up a vastness of receiving for me, but also acknowledging other things that I was aware of, other energies I was aware of, without like defining them, but just knowing that they contributed. Like if I went out my front door, it's like if I'm driving in my car, do I go left or right? I know I'm going to the supermarket, but what way do I go? And really allowing the energy to dictate which is the best journey for me to go and what I meet on the way that contributes me was something that I began to let in more and more. So not just in the car, but walking through the forest or being taken on a journey where I could perceive more of where consciousness was talking to me. And that facilitated me into more vulnerability.
That's beautiful. What you were saying about this opening up, that's because I started tapping into my first ESB class as well, which truly also was like an opening to a world of magic that I, somewhere still knew that must have existed. And that's why I was also pulled into this class that actually I chose it because it was quite near me in Zurich, in
Mhm.
Switzerland. And I remember it was the first class that I would take with Dr. Dain. And just already the fact that back then it didn't have a manual. Now we do have a beautiful manual of how the universe actually works. But going there before, I really didn't know what to expect. But I just remember that the whole journey, even to the venue, was magical. I got off the train, and there at the train station, I saw bookshop, and in one of the displays there was Dr. Dain Heer's Being You Changing the World. Kind of like these, how the universe communicates with you, how energy communicates with you when you follow it. And it was really the first moments when I was tapping into something different with energy, something beyond any spiritual or other significance, you
Yeah.
know? And it was such a relief to know, wow, it actually works. And I don't need to be, I don't know who, for me to perceive something, or, energy wise. And I remember Dr. Dain here doing a session on one of the participants, and I was sitting and observing it, and I realized I perceive something, some kind of something. I don't know. I've never had this kind of feeling, but there was I starting to perceive energy, let's say. Yeah.
Beautiful. There was a session in my first ESB too, and I can remember it because it was so clear when Dain said to the guy that was you invited to work on, like, what is it you'd like to get out of this? And you could, I don't know if it's describable, but literally you could see this laser focus of what he wanted to say, the chap that was on the table, and then suddenly he stopped, and then he asked, you could see that he asked a question because the energy really opened up. And that for me was the moment I got what question created in everyone's world, because Dr. Dain then took that information and said, did you guys get that? That Liam chose something and then he asked a question and the energy changed, and it's that change of energy that we can now work on. I got it so clearly that how much a question opens up the space, and exactly what you're saying there, how, if you define something, you limit it and put it into like a form or a structure or make it really kind of heavy. So that really opened up something for me too, in the way that, we choose to be present with energy in a certain way. Each of us is individual in our own way, and no one can tell you what that is. And for me, it's difficult for myself to get it. And what I love about what Dr. Dain says is that the way that he talks to his own awareness with energy, or the way that he can explain how other people function with it, I then can take that and say, well, what's relevant for me with that? Not from like a significant thing, but an acknowledging way where it actually allows me to be more aware of what my capacities are, of what my energetics are, and what way I can use them to my advantage. Does that sort of make sense? Yeah.
Totally does. And when
Yeah.
you were saying about no one else can get it,
Yeah.
maybe not even us, we can describe it, but with these energetic synthesis of being classes, there is something that you start becoming, or you start being, basically, more and more.
Yeah, it's that change from the inside out that you don't notice it until, like, in hindsight 3 months later, and you think, wow, I'm really different. I wonder what's changed for me. And other people see it clearer than you, have you changed your hair? Or like, that's a nice dress. And you're like that, oh, okay. So really acknowledging the change comes, and not to look for it, but just to allow it to go through your world. And it's what I love about these classes is the way that the energy, like, you could take like 5 minutes of a clip, and we've got lots of clips we can share here. There's a session that Dain gives Brendan Watt, and it's on the website, on the ESB website. And I countless times watch that video when I'm holding everything together, because when I watch it, whatever energy these beautiful gentlemen are being when they're, you know, opening up this session, it literally pops me into a different space. And it's not just the one time that I watch it this occurs. It's like whatever that energy is, I can allow it in, so it facilitates me to contribute to me. And it's like 7 minutes long, but it's like, wow, it's just amazing.
Mm.
I will put it maybe in the chat afterwards, because I've got it on my notes. I keep it there, and like, you know, if ever, it's one of my things where Dr. Dain talks about having like a miracle list where you know you can go to something that is familiar that will contribute to you being more of you. That's one of my things.
Oh, it's beautiful. I also have a list of, you know, what brings me back, I would say, you know.
Yes, this, because it can be different. Like every day we go out there and there's, like, we talk about energy, there's good energy, bad energy, like all of that is what this reality will define energy as. And what I love about access is it's undefinable. It's just energy. Like, don't put it under a mold of good energy or bad energy. What if every energy can contribute? Would you allow it in? And that is that real key of that question coming in, and say, well, if there's something here that it cannot harm me unless, it cannot affect me unless I have a point of view that it is going to affect me, then what can I choose to be with that? And that is my daily choice of choosing more of and not going into the limitation of where I can be aware of like a weird energy, make it something big and then be contained by it. It's actually about choosing to be present with it and unlocking me more, so the energy is not relevant. And hopefully that translated too. And these are the tools that Dain talks about, and then we take that information and use them on ourselves in a way that can open up more space for us to be present in the world without anything affecting us or limiting us in the same way.
Thank you so much for mentioning it, because it was just a couple of days ago. As you say, you know, we go and then life, right? So we
Yeah.
can lose us, or we get stressed, or so on and so on. And there was something that just started bothering me in my world. And for the first time, I asked myself, what if I leaned into it? What if I did not try to resist it, separate from it, but what if I just be with it? And I know that this would not have been possible without all of these ESB classes, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, these ESB energies through Dr. Dain Heer, you know, being present, that you know, giving you the trust in you that you
Yes.
got. And I just think about, you know, I remember the different, when I see you sometimes being or playing on the beach, or SOPing, you know, playing with the symphony energies in nature and with rocks around you. There is just this sense of no separation, communion. That's another one of the gifts of ESB classes with me. It's not just a tree and we are something separate. It's not just a rock, but there is something really different possible.
Totally. You know, as a kid, you'd walk along the beach or walk along a path and pick up a stone or a seed or something that really piqued your interest and stick it in your pocket. And this is in the same way. It's the same joy of being alive. Like you're functioning in your everyday life, and there's those contributive energies everywhere that just ping you, and you're like, wow, thank you so much. Like, what else is possible, and how magic is it to receive in the same way as you would from picking up a shell from the beach or playing with a rock or whatever. These energies are everywhere, and a lot of them are, I I think it is a really good word that Dain used. I'm trying to remember it. Like it's not just energy, it's like, and it's like the molecules in Nouns Days, I think he calls them, of like tiny little pieces of different layers of that open up to create a greater receiving space for you. Like it's not just, and you spoke to it there eloquently. For me, it was like, what else can I unravel that's not me? And what else can I build on and acknowledge that is? And that real space of being present with that what contributes and bringing it into my world and using it and then talking about it with others like we're doing here is a real way of acknowledging that there is a different way to live life, that we don't need to be depressed, stressed or saddened by everyday occurrences. We can choose to change that by being present with the energies that are showing up and not the definitions of what we think they are.
Yeah. And this playfulness as well that you were describing, for me, because how many of us cut it off at one point when we started trying being normal and fitting in. And for me,
Yeah.
this is bringing back everything that I would have loved to live as a child, and and but in a different way. And it's also changing the past like this. You realize that there also is no separation between future presence and past, and then things can change, and we don't need to carry our wounds
No,
from way in the past. So that's also one of the magic elements of these classes. you know
totally. It,
yeah.
it it unravels what's not working, or for me, it also broke the chains of where I was chained to what I should be of this world, and that goes into like exactly what you spoke of, the being you change the world that Dane also facilitates. Um, and those classes in that book are just amazing. There's so much information there that that it's like you could read that for the rest of your life and still find something new in it that you hadn't quite received. This is what I love about this stuff. It's not just one time tick that box, that's it. You can listen to this class for the rest of your life and still receive something from it. The ongoing contribution as you change and grow, the energetics of what was being spoken about and the energetics of the sessions through this, including like all of the ones that are on the website by Dain, and talking about them with other facilitators like Katrina and Gary as well, Gary Douglas. Those are such a gift to just play them and just be present with them and hear how other people have got that information too, and what it's created in their worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
So I can't wait. There is an ESB class coming up actually with Dr. Dain Heer in September. So far, it's the only one, the last one for this year. So if you would like to join, guys, it's starting on September 13th, 14th, and 15th. And it's going to be in Budapest, Hungary, and also all around the world online.
And I wonder what this will contribute to us all, and tapping in and just being present with the class is something about that is so different that I could never have really done that before Access. I didn't know what that was. So the tools of energetic synthesis of being really allow us to be present in a different way, to acknowledge the contribution of these classes, the people in these classes, but the journey we all go on together in these classes, the vulnerability that shows up, the gifting and receiving, the way, whether you're live in the class, the live hosts, and everyone has your back and looks after you, or whether you're online and the online hosts are there for you to support you through your own registration or into the group so you can actually watch this online too, which means that you can be anywhere in the world at any time and be with this class and receive this class, and then listen to the recordings, watch the recordings, and be with everyone in the class and what contribution that is too. So there's something about the I mean, I'm trying to put it into words because it's so different. It's a miraculous way of being that we all seem to open up into an entirely different way of being alive in the world. And the reason I keep choosing these classes is that is something for me. I want to be the best version of me, the only version of me that can create more in the world. I don't want to be what my mum and dad thought I should be, or my sister thinks I should be, or society says I should be. This is the difference of this. It's like, what is it that we can contribute to creating the future of the world when we actually step in and be present with these energies? And what does that offer our Earth, the planet, as well? So my ask is more about the future too, and what we are unlocking from the past and what we can contribute to that too.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yay. Awesome. Anything else you would like to add?
Just so grateful to talk to you about these energetics, but also the gift this class is. The gift Dr. Dain is not from a, oh my goodness, he's up there on a pedestal. It's the fact that this amazing man can actually talk to us from a place that creates more contribution from us to the rest of the world and allows us to be, not allow, that isn't quite the right way, but facilitates us to engage with ourselves in a way that contributes to the world too. And that honouring and having trust for him to show us a different way is just fantastic for me. I don't get it anywhere else in my life. This is somewhere where I know I'll be held. If something I want to talk about comes up, then I know I'll be held with that. And that real honouring of me is beautiful. And I'm grateful to receive this more and more from everyone in Access too.
Truly, what else is possible?
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Jeni.
you.
And thank you everybody for watching this. And how much fun can we have being us and being more and being
Yeah.
different. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for now. Bye.
Bye.